Delaware Defensive Driving Course, Chapter 14. Mini Review, Number 1.
Yes, there will be test questions for this chapter. 10 true or false sample test questions follow. The correct answer to these 10 questions will be found in the current chapter material. It is suggested pausing the audio to read these sample test questions. Continue the audio after completing your review.
Mini Review. The force is not your friend. Smart defense by the D Team believes all occupants of a motor vehicle in motion should be aware of the consequences of violating nature's law, herein known as the force. An object in motion, human missile, remains in motion until the second crash. The first crash occurs when two vehicles collided. The second crash happens when the unbuckled driver continues in motion and unfortunately smashes into the front windshield. Picture 14-2 below. Man's law versus nature's law. A huge difference. 1. A police officer, man's law, cannot be on every spot, on every road, every second of every day. However, nature's law is not restricted to the constraints of time and place. Nature is on every spot, on every road, every second of every day. 2. Man's law is based on emotions, and plea bargaining is often available. You might even be able to talk the officer in picture 14-3 below into a warning. Nature's law is absolute. Whatever penalty nature chooses, an option to change is non-existent. Picture 14-4 below provides good advice to improve your odds of returning home safely. Principles of the force. 1. The force is on every spot, on every road, every second of every day. 2. The force does not care who you are. 3. The force does not allow you to plea bargain. And 4. Please remember, the force is not your friend, and it will be with you throughout your entire driving experience. The power of the force. Speed. The faster you go, the stronger the force. Angles. The sharper the angle, curves, the stronger the force. Traction. A slippery road surface will make the force more powerful. Chapter number 2, Mini Review. Bet you didn't know. A single solid white line is identified in Delaware law as meaning what? The answer: Delaware law does not have any identification of the meaning of a solid white line. In fact, Delaware law does not identify the meaning of any pavement line markings, be it yellow or white. The D Team will turn to the previously mentioned MUTCD for the answer to the meaning of a single solid white line, since there is no Delaware law that addresses pavement line markings. According to the MUTCD, a single solid white line discourages crossing. The MUTCD goes on to state a double solid white line prohibits crossing. Important. The D Team is not encouraging any motorist to cross a single solid white line. However, the D Team is identifying there is no Delaware law to prohibit such an act. The Delaware Driver's Manual does identify pavement line markings. This manual is not Delaware law and is not always accurate. Caution should be used. Additional caution. Even though DelDoc claims the MUTCD as the authority they follow, unfortunately inconsistencies in the use of pavement line markings in Delaware are present, thus leading to potential confusion. Bet you didn't notice. Why are there single broken white lines and a single solid white line approaching two separate traffic light controlled intersections on the Concord Pike in Wilmington, Delaware? See picture 14-5 and picture 14-6 above. Bet you didn't pay any attention to the inconsistencies. The D Team believes the following formula exists. 1. Inconsistencies increase the odds for confusion. 2. Confusion increases the odds for collisions. And 3. Collisions increase the odds for becoming a statistic. Therefore, it is a goal of the D Team to lessen the inconsistencies, confusion on Delaware roadways through identification and education. DelDOT is also indicating they are serious about consistency of roadway design. The following is a direct quote from a DelDOT letter to the D Team relating to consistency of roadway design dated November 20th, 2009. However, there are locations in Delaware that are not consistent with these current standards. As we identify these locations, we are taking steps to make changes. We take this issue seriously and are striving for consistency. Important. Below you will find a summary statement taken directly from the Manual Uniform Traffic Control Devices, MUTCD, emphasizing the gift of life safety importance of the accurate understanding of pavement line markings. MUTCD. Learn about pavement markings. Pavement markings are a very important part of the communication system for road users along our nation's highways and roads. Pavement markings communicate their messages to you through a uniform system of colors, patterns, widths, symbols, and words. Uniformity of these features throughout the nation, as required by the MUTCD, makes it possible for you to instantly recognize the meaning of the markings in any given situation and quickly react to them, enabling you to travel safely and efficiently along the roadway. Did you know?
1. Airbags do not prevent rear window ejections. 2. Airbags do not prevent side door ejections.
Chapter 3, Mini Review. You be the judge. Which of the above signs is the most effective in warning motorists of a slower speed zone ahead? The answer, picture 14-9. The sign that identifies the actual maximum speed limit ahead is a real benefit. DelDOT is in the process of replacing the original reduced speed ahead sign with a new sign, picture 14-9. The D Team is concerned that Delaware drivers may misinterpret this new sign as identifying the maximum speed limit at the actual location of the sign, a potentially dangerous interpretation. The real meaning of both signs. They mean more than reduced speed ahead. What they really mean is, 1. Take your foot off the gas at the sign to begin to decelerate. And 2. If you are on cruise control, then you should tap off the cruise control at the point of the sign. While no driver will ever be perfect at these techniques, due mainly to driver distraction, following this reduced speed ahead procedure will lessen heart palpitations when a police vehicle is spotted down the road. Picture 14-10 below. Utilizing these techniques can also save considerable sums of money through speeding tickets and auto insurance increases. Below is a short review of Delaware speed laws. The speed limits identified below are the maximum legal speed limits when there is no speed sign posted. It is your responsibility as a Delaware motorist to recognize the speed classification of the area in which you are driving and adhere to the speed limits for those areas when there is no speed sign visible. 1. School zone, 20 miles per hour. 2. Residential, 25 miles per hour. 3. 2-lane open road, non-residential, 1 lane each direction, 50 miles per hour. 4. 4 lanes or more, 55 miles per hour. 5. I-495 and Route 1, 65 miles per hour. 6. General speed law, never legal to travel at an unsafe speed either too fast or too slow. The following are a couple of additional points about speed limits. 1. Black and white speed limit signs identify the maximum legal speed under normal driving conditions. 2. Yellow and black speed limit signs are advisory, recommended maximum speed under normal driving conditions, but they do not reflect the actual legal maximum speed. 3. Please keep in mind, no matter what the color of the speed limit sign, the general speed law, police officer, is the controlling authority. And 4. It is important to know that the speed limit sign is placed at the point where the enforcement begins. Just because you can see the sign up ahead does not give you the legal right to accelerate to that higher speed before reaching the sign. The same principle applies to reducing your speed by the time you reach that new lower posted area. Chapter 4, Mini Review. Following distance, stopping distance. A reading of Delaware law below clearly identifies there are no absolutes for determining a legal following distance. Title 21, Motor Vehicles, Operation and Equipment, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Section 4123, following too closely. A. The driver of a vehicle shall not follow another vehicle more closely than is reasonable and prudent, having due regard for the speed of such vehicles and the traffic upon and the condition of the highway. Fact. Stopping distance is a factor in determining following distance. Following distance. There are two theories that dominate following distance. 1. Counting the number of seconds your vehicle trails the vehicle directly in front of you. The counting technique is to find an object down the road and begin counting seconds when the vehicle to your front reaches that object. The counting stops when your vehicle reaches the same object. If you reach the target object in a shorter time than your predetermined safe following distance, number of seconds, an adjustment should be made. 2. Smart defense by the D team suggests the driver of a motor vehicle keep their eyes on the road. Check your speed and maintain a minimum of one car length, 14 to 20 feet, for every 10 miles an hour you are traveling. This way the distance judges are keeping their eyes on the road in front of them instead of searching for a yet-to-be-discovered counting point. Of course, no matter which technique you choose, there are other factors that must be taken into consideration such as weather, road surface, etc., which would require an increase in following distance. There are no absolutes. Chapter 5, Mini Review. Fix it. Question from the D team to DelDOT. What intersection designs dictates that the traffic light controls a right turn lane? DelDOT response follows. Quote, when a triangular island is striped or exists as a concrete island between the right turn movement and the adjacent through movements, the proper traffic control for the right turn movement is a yield condition. See intersection pictures 14-12 below, black and gold arrow. Another DelDOT response quote, if there is no striped or concrete island, this indicates that the right turn movement is controlled by the traffic signal. In this situation, there should be a stop line across the right turn lane, and there should be no yield sign. The nearest signal ahead to the right turn lane controls the right turn movement. See intersection pictures 14-13 below, black and gold arrow.
Single solid white pavement line marking. Exception. Turning right to go home. Turning right across a single solid white pavement line marking is generally illegal and substantially dangerous. However, there is a major exception to the right turn across this pavement line marking. Allowed to go home. Yes, turning into a driveway and/or a facility such as a shopping complex while executing a right turn across a solid white pavement line marking, shoulder of road, is not only legal but also necessary. Caution. Occasionally, joggers, such as seen in picture number 14-16 below, who don't follow the opposite direction traffic law and are a bicyclist properly using the bicycle lane identified by the single solid white pavement line marking in picture number 14-17, create an additional hazard. In picture number 14-18 below, we find a page taken directly from the Manual Uniform Traffic Control Device. DelDOT claims this document, MUTCD, is Delaware traffic law. It is significant that MUTCD states changing lanes across a double solid white pavement line, red arrow number 1, is prohibited. Conversely, the MUTCD states changing lanes across a single solid white pavement line, red arrow number 2, is not prohibited, but rather discouraged. Caution. The term discouraged, single solid white pavement marking, carries with it a stronger caution for safety than when changing lanes across broken white lines, red arrow number 3. B. Full-time concurrent lanes where enter-exit movements are prohibited. C. Concurrent lanes where enter-exit movements are discouraged. Delaware highway deaths at 50-year low. 2013 highway fatalities fell 14.6%. While even one loss is too many, the good news is that fewer people died in traffic crashes last year than in the previous year, said Jana Simpler, Director of the Office of Highway Safety. Simpler said the agency and its partners are committed to moving Delaware toward zero highway deaths. State Department of Transportation Secretary Shaylin Butt said, "Reducing highway deaths is the state agency's top goal each year." The state saw an improvement in the numbers in 2013, but he isn't satisfied. Delaware's Strategic Highway Safety Plan aims to curb aggressive driving, reduce impaired driving, increase pedestrian safety, and increase the use of seat belts, Butt said. Last year, the state saw its greatest improvement in seat belt usage, with the state seat belt rate at an all-time high of 92% usage, one of the highest percentages in the country. Of the 52 vehicle occupant fatalities in 2013, 48% of those killed were not wearing seat belts, the same percentage as in the previous year. 36% of the 99 highway deaths were alcohol-related, a drop of 16% from 2012. In 2012, 60 of 116 fatalities, or 52%, were attributed to alcohol. Motorcycle crashes contributed to 20 deaths last year, 3 more than in 2012. 4 fewer pedestrians were killed on the highway last year, a total of 26. The last time Delaware fell below 100 fatalities was in 1963, when the state recorded 96 highway deaths.
SOS. You can drive smart, or you can drive stupid.